There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
What?
Don't cross the streams.
Why?
Why? What'll happen? Another electric shock?
Hey Ghost Heads, it's Heidi from Channeling Spirits. Crossing the streams was a deus ex machina, or rather, a machine used against a god.
We eat gods for breakfast.
But what really happens when you cross them?
It would be bad.
I'm fuzzy on the whole good-bad thing. What do you mean bad?
To answer that, we went through previous script drafts and commentaries. In the original film's commentary, director Ivan Reitman mentions,
You know, the whole crossing the stream thing, I think we invented. I don't remember that in the screenplay. I think we got there at the top of the building as we kept sort of struggling with how we were going to get to a finish.
That's right.
I mean, how are we going to kill this guy once and for all? And I think the crossing streams had come up in the screenplay, but this whole scene I remember working out on the stage.
Yes.
Ivan isn't entirely correct because there wasn't any mention of crossing the streams. In the August 5th, 1983 draft, Spengler warns, "Don't cross the beams." And when Winston asks him to elaborate, Egon explains, "It's hard to explain, but try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and finding yourself confined forever in another dimension." Later in the draft, Spengler tells them to go full stream with Strogon Pulse. We'll cross the beams. Strogon seems to be a made-up particle, but sounds a bit like the video game's boson dart. The resulting explosion is described as a tremendous fission fusion burst. Many of these lines would remain in the October 7th, 1983 shooting script, but as Ivan said, much of the scene was developed on set.
How?
We'll cross the streams.
Excuse me, Egon. You said crossing the streams was bad.
Cross the streams.
In the real Ghostbusters, they mentioned defeating Gozer, but given that Stay Puft repeatedly returns, it's uncertain how they stopped it. In another episode, Captain Steel saves the day. They cross the streams to slow their fall as a last resort.
Aim at the water and cross the streams. Are you crazy? Just do it.
Might as well go out with a bang.
This only causes a plume of water to explode upward.
Pretty fancy, Egon. How'd you know crossing the streams would do that?
I didn't.
Say what?
I figured it couldn't hurt.
The amount of destruction caused by crossing the streams seems dependent on how long they are entwined. We'll explain why that is in a moment. In its sequel series, Extreme Ghostbusters, Egon gives his usual warning.
The important thing to remember is that you must never, under any circumstances, cross the streams.
And the 2009 video game also mentions it.
Oh, and you've got to be very careful about crossing the streams. In a word, don't do it.
Seriously.
But the 1991 proton packs also had a cross-stream governor to mitigate the effect. In order to stop Shandor, the architect, this governor is shut down.
I'm deactivating the cross-stream governor. I never thought I'd say this again. Cross the streams.
By 2021, having survived crossing the streams once, possibly twice, the boys in gray confidently try it again.
Yeah, nothing stings like a billion electron volts!
But after all these years, the destructor isn't going to be destroyed the same way twice. It untangles the beams, leaving them on the ground.
I don't remember this job being so painful.
I do.
Before we go too far, there are two things we need to go over. When we are talking about crossing the streams, we are specifically talking about the red-orange beam, which is the proton stream. The blue electricity that surrounds it are ionizing electrons in the air, which bond to form hydrogen atoms. Second, Peter Venkman remarks,
Maybe now you'll never slime a guy with a positron collider, huh?
positrons, the antimatter equivalent of an electron, are not produced by the proton pack. Peter probably misspoke because he doesn't have a doctorate in physics.
Well, I have PhDs in parapsychology and psychology.
If two positrons collided, they would simply bounce off one another in a process called scattering. Unless he is referring to a positron and an electron colliding, which would release a tremendous amount of energy. In fact, matter-antimatter annihilation is why crossing the streams is so dangerous.
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Inside the proton pack is an HP 8656B signal generator, which has a range of 100 kilohertz to 990 megahertz. Due to size limitations, it was easiest to have the ribbon cable connecting the microprocessor and the signal generator outside of the pack. The signal it generates is pure sine wave, and it controls the ion oscillation between the Ds. This sine wave pattern may look familiar because it also causes the exiting proton stream to undulate. So what happens when two of these streams cross? Both follow the sine wave, but at different rates due to each pack oscillating at a slightly different frequency. When the streams continuously cross, the protons collide and create antiprotons.
Total protonic reversal.
If the streams continue to converge, their sine waves will merge, repeatedly producing antiprotons. This buildup isn't instantaneous, but it can quickly become deadly. And once this stream of protons and antiprotons hits a target, like Gozer's temple, the matter-antimatter annihilation is explosive.
All right, that's bad. Okay. All right, important safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
For example, if you have only 1 gram of protons, which is about 10 to the 24th power protons, and 1 gram of antiprotons, it would release 43.02 kilotons of energy. That's equivalent to more than 2 atomic bombs dropped on Nagasaki. Obviously, the explosion on top of Spook Central was substantially less, but also had enough force to reverse the particle flow through the gate. Despite the blast, the Ghostbusters miraculously survived.
There's definitely a very slim chance we'll survive.
Since the antiproton accumulation isn't immediate, this gave Gozer enough time to uncross the streams in 2021. It was able to direct what antiprotons had formed back against the exiting protons. So how does the cross-stream governor stop this? Remember how we said each pack oscillates at a slightly different frequency? The governor ensures whatever stream length is selected, each beam is oscillating at the same frequency. So when streams intersect, they bounce back into the barrel. This knocks the user down without causing a catastrophe.
Stings like the Dickens, too.
But what do you think?
I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
If you like this video and think we deserve it,
Bravo.
please subscribe. Be sure to check out our official merchandise to get blueprints for the Ghostbusters equipment. Select Patreon tiers get 5 to 10% off. As always, keep coming back for more spooktacular videos. I'm Heidi from Channeling Spirits, and thanks for watching. Hey Ghost Heads, it's Heidi from Channeling Spirits. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your patience as we worked to get this video out to you. We just moved to Chicago and we don't have our lives together just yet. And so taking this video, recording this video, getting everything put together took a little bit more time than we'd hoped. So thank you so much for your patience. I hope you enjoyed it and hopefully we'll have some more content for you soon. Bye.